So initially when you started your PDI badge, am I correct in saying that you applied for a PDI badge?
I applied for a PDI badge.
To get that experience?
To get a taste of what's happening,
Yes.
what it's like out there. Yeah,
okay.
right.
So, just for viewers out there, because obviously they won't be aware of this camera, but when you initially started, so any individual who goes through recruitment or goes through training, initially they get asked in terms of a plan on how they'd like to structure their training, part 1, part 2, part 3. And Cameron, what was your initial plan when you first spoke to the trainer?
My initial plan was to get my PDI badge, pass my part 1, part 2,
Yep.
get my PDI badge, rent a car out from the company, drive it. If I liked it, I was going to try to qualify for my ADI badge, part 3 test. But I changed my plan halfway, 2-3 weeks into it, by buying my own car.
When you say 2-3 weeks into it, when you say into what?
Into getting my PDI, into starting teaching students, actually getting students.
So from
in
the
car,
very
right from the very start.
Okay, fantastic. And what made you change that? I mean, what happened? I mean, what was it that made you decide? Okay, I don't want to wait till I pass and get my ADI badge. Sorry, I'm gonna go and get my own car, and I'm gonna.
The first lesson I actually did, I was nervous, really nervous. Like going back to nursery and school type of thing, because I'd never done it before. But it was that initial lesson, and after that, next 2-3 hours I did, I thought, yeah, I can see myself doing this. I started to enjoy it, and it's been about a year now. And
what sort of feedback were you getting from your students? Because that must have helped you a lot, knowing the sort of feedback you're getting from your students, because that would have been like a guideline for you to know how well
it was
you're
all
doing.
good feedback. Fantastic. Luckily, touch wood, up to date I've not
I wouldn't say luckily then, would it?
I've not had no bad feedback up to yet.
So I won't put it down to
something right.
There you go. So I won't put it down to luckily. So well done. So you went on to going on. So you applied for your PDI badge. You got your own car. You provided lesson. You're enjoying the job. Did you at any point have to feel like you need to go back to your previous job? Whether that's down to choice.
Well, my initial plan
preference.
was I'm going to start doing this part time until I get used to it,
Okay.
and until I qualify as an ADI. But like I say, 2 weeks into it, I bought my taxi up, cancelled the insurance on it and everything, and like I say, I bought my own car. Now I'm teaching my own car since then. So.
Fantastic. I mean, the fact that you could park your taxi up, you could cancel the insurance, you could do all of that. It goes to show that you had that reassurance and that confidence that...
Yeah, that was perfect. Like I say, I had the management, the trainers, phone your phone call away, any problems, I'd ring them up. Anytime I need any students or anything, just a phone call
Because
away.
obviously, of course, for a family man, and going back to that point I made, for a family man who's got kids, mortgages, bills, it's hard for them to leave. It's like from swinging from one branch to another. You can't let go of one branch before you grab another, if that makes sense. You know, it's hard to do that, if that makes sense.
Yes, but you mentioned family there. While I was in a taxi, I was doing like 70-80 hours a week. So I was getting very minimal time with the kids and stuff. Now I'm probably doing 3/4 to half them hours. I'm still, I'd say, I'm probably better off. Got more time to myself, more time with the family. Go out there, do what I want. Have you got time to play pool?
Well, you're not taking your shot yet, I'm still waiting. They're still waiting, so you ain't got that much time. But yeah, so, you know, it sounds like obviously becoming a driving instructor and going down that career path has helped you in terms, and benefited you and helped you so much more in terms of your social, family lifestyle. And I think most people...
And financially, to be honest with you,
I mean, that's why we do work.
That's the reason
That's why we do work. I mean, I don't know about you, but that's the reason why I get out of bed in the morning. But I mean, what we tend to do, and I do this a lot myself, we forget sometimes, you know, we work to provide for our family. You know, we're not here to just work. So if we're not providing time for them sometimes, and for some people that's important, some people it's not, it just depends on your lifestyle. But for yourself, obviously, that was important. Moving on to my next question, Cameron. Were you training or providing lessons or doing anything during the last lockdown during the COVID period?
Sitting at home doing nothing.
Sitting at home doing nothing?
Sitting at home doing nothing, yeah.
But did you have the PDI badge at that point?
I had my PDI badge then, yeah.
Okay. So
I was driving a company car then as well. So
okay.
Yeah.
So the lockdown happened, you had the company car, you had the PDI badge. So, you know what I'm going to ask you next, right?
Yeah.
So were there any
was a bit of a panic there, thinking I've got a company car, rent franchise fees.
Of course you would do. I mean, anyone would do.
Phone the management up and they said, come and park the car up, we'll leave it in your drive and there's no costs till you get back to work.
Fantastic.
So
Fantastic.
it worked out bang on right for me.
And again, obviously during this most recent lockdown, again, were there any charges again?
Same again. Got a phone call saying lockdown starts this date, no lessons, no fees till you start up again. Well, actually, till after you start up again, whenever you feel ready, that's when you start to make your payments.
Fantastic, perfect. So it sounds like you're getting that support you need. It sounds like you're not got any concerns, especially obviously with situations like lockdowns and pandemics. These sort of things you don't have no control over. You don't know what's going to happen. Knowing that you've got a company.
That was one of the things before I started all this, when I did my research into the company and stuff. Now, there was companies out there that charge you thousands and stuff, but if you look really their small print, you get contracts, this and that. With A1, I noticed there's nothing to where I have to sign a contract, I'm tied up to anything. That was a pulling point.
That was going to be my next question.
That was a pulling point for this,
yeah.
And with the lockdown scenario, it was new to everybody, nobody knew what was happening with it.
Of course you don't.
I've spoken to instructors out there, and they're still getting charged for their cars, franchise fees. But like I say, A1, they rang me up themselves and saying, don't worry.
I must have felt nice though, having someone ring you up without having to chase someone.
Yeah.
I mean, because some of the stories I've heard, I don't know for viewers out there that have experienced it or know people who have experienced these types of situations where they literally don't know where to go because they're ringing numbers, no one's answering, they're getting told one thing and another. And obviously, if you're in a new path, doing a new career, you need as much support as I mentioned. So, Cammy, thank you so much for taking part and being here today. Is there anything that you'd like to say to the viewers before we go?
I'd just like to say if there's anybody out there thinking of a career change, especially the taxi drivers out there, I know what the struggle is at the moment because I've done it for so long. If you're afraid to talk to anybody, I'm on the road all the time, just give me a call and I'll go through everything with you.
Fantastic. So for any taxi drivers out there that know Cameron, give them a call. You can question him yourself, you can interview him and ask him exactly how it is and take it from there. But if there is anyone that needs support, that wants to get a bit of advice, feel free to contact us on the details below. If there's anyone out there that likes specific questions being asked on these channels, feel free to comment below and put those questions below. We'll surely ask those questions here on this channel. Thank you again and see you soon. Thank you.